What is that? What the hell? What is this? Look at that dirty ass hand. Ew. Hello everybody. Shadowbat91 here. Happy Friday. Today I want to do a tutorial on how to put a heat strip in. These are heat strips that considerably would go for any. I just farted. That would go. That would go for American standard, anywhere from 1.5 tons to 5 ton heat pumps. This is a pretty simple setup on how to do this. It's not gonna be fancy. This ain't gonna be nothing with no cool like captions and, you know, sections and everything. It's just gonna be something I can do with my phone. So y'all need to bear with me on that, okay? But I've seen a lot of people like look up this, and some people kind of do it wrong. I've seen people like, I don't know, it's weird. You know, this is part of my job I have to do every day. All those over there, all of them over there, all of them have heat strips in it. All that shit over here, I gotta put all this shit up every fucking day. So, that being said, when you take it out of the box, okay, it's gonna have a label. That TEM6. This right here, your number right here after the M, this is the seer rating. We're not worried about that, but that's 16 series. The standard series now for 2018, 2019 is 14 series. Train, equipment, you know, and it's pretty much just a model number that explains what the unit is, okay? That right here, your number right here, that is that tells you the tonnage. That would be considerably a 2 ton. An 18 is a 1.5 tons. 30 is a 2.5. 36, 3 ton. A 42, 3.5. 48, 4 ton. You know, so on and so forth. But when you are trying to put these in a new home, like I said, y'all need to bear with me on this because I'm gonna be fucking everywhere with this thing. Right here, there is a number that kind of goes right here. This is your number. You know, this is your heat strip. We don't use 4s. We use 5s and 10s. Now 8 kWs, yeah, but they technically put out the same amount on heat. Technically, some are different, but you know, for these, for what I put in, it's mostly we just mark for a 5 because this is going to call for a for a 5. The reason why you have to mark that is for 2 reasons. Because if you don't, and the inspector sees it's not marked, or the electrician don't, they'll pull the wrong wire, and it can fail inspection. Okay. So, you know, depending on where you are, you might be up under a fucking house or whatever, but realistically, take off the grooves. You know, take these 4 screws off. One here, there's gonna be one there, there's one here, there's one there. So, hang on a second. I'm gonna put the phone down. Don't worry. Like I said, 4 screws right on the front. I hear a lot of noise though. No. Okay, take the door. You drop it down here. Now, if you're under a house, you know you gotta put the door away wherever. Now, in most cases, I would do the usual way I would do this, but you know, that's the paperwork that comes in these. They were in here. You put them back in there. You know, this right here, all this shit here. This is the only difference in this is the 16 series because this is a variable speed heat pump, air handler, whatever you want to call it. Instead of it having like 2 speeds off and on pretty fucking much on a standard one, this has about 3 or 4. It's got low, medium, high, and you got auto, like an auto speed, which it, you know, do not quote me on how I'm stating this because it might be not 100% right, but it pretty much just makes it more efficient on cooling depending on the demand of what your thermostat's calling for. You know, that way it's more energy efficient. That's where the seer rating comes in. You know, hence to how the motor looks a little different. Anyways, this right here, this is a connection for straight ACs, and this is the knockout plate for the heat strips and slide in. You do not need to keep this. The only time you need this is for applications that do not require or call for heat. If you don't need heat, then you keep that in there. That wires up to the thermostat. and that's pretty much what that goes for. So I'm gonna set this down. I'm going to take that one screw off that's holding that cable in on the left side. Okay. See, I just unscrewed it from right here. See, I'm tossing it. I don't need it. Now, in most cases, I would have took this knockout plate here. I would have took that off before I took the door off. But for instructional video purposes, and if I keep dropping shit, you know, I want to let y'all see this firsthand. There are notches here. Okay, see, they're right here. You're gonna need to use some sharp snips or something that. There you go. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, so. Like I said, please bear with me. Usually I got two hands, and sometimes the nail plates, man, when I get these things, they don't come out very well. See how that happened? That's why I keep usually that's why I would keep the door on here and take those out from the inside out. That's trash. You don't need that nail plate no more. When you take your heat strips out of this box, this box might look a little different, but they're gonna look like this. All the shit here, you know, heat strip, okay. This connector right here connects to this here. It only goes in one way, so you're not gonna be able to do anything if it don't go one way. Flip it, it'll go in the other way. It comes with these instructions manual, you know, it's got a little schematic sticker on here, and if anybody starts to say why the hell is it stuck in there like that because it'll catch fire, first of all, it's not going to, because these get took out prior to a startup. I just install them because we can't seem to get our installers to fathom the idea of how to put in a heat strip. Go figure, you know, only one of the few heat and air companies that actually do this for you know, where my fucking lunch hour goes every day, putting these stupid things. I put in like 30 of these fucking things every day. I think I'm really excited to do this. Anyways, I gotta put my hands down, but in theory, you know, you're gonna kind of want to hold it without getting your fingers on that element right here. You kind of want to try to hold it the best you can, and just get your hand up under it like that, like you're trying to serve a fucking plate to somebody, and it would go in just kind of like so. This will go straight, but I got to move these wires over here because they're sticking out. So hang on, we'll move this out of the way. Alright, so it will go like this. It'll go in just like this. You want to brace it. There's two screws that usually stick up here. Now that's not for every unit, this is just for American Standard, but just put them behind there. It'll hold itself to where you can get your shit together. Now you're going to take, like I said, you're going to take this plug and you're going to plug it into there. So go like that, and make sure when you're plugging that in, make sure you tuck these fucking wires in a little bit, or push them where they don't come out right here sticking out, because when you got to screw the door back on, you do not want to crimp the wires if you could help it. Alright, on these little baggie of screws right here, they come out of that paperwork out of that heat strip that's stuck in there. Very easy. Take the 4 screws, and they go in each hole. You see it's not lined up 100% because right now it's just sitting and resting on those screws. But as you can see, when I line it up, okay, there's a hole there. There's gonna be a hole there, there, and there. Kind of, yeah. All I gotta do is put those in. So I'm gonna do that now, as I set the phone down where you can't see a damn thing. Been putting these in for like 10 years. So me trying to explain this is kind of different, because I don't usually have to, so I've been doing these for so long, it's hard for me to explain how to do this, just because I'm just instinct. But okay, technically you're pretty much almost done. at this point. So all you got to do at this point is obviously put the damn door back on, you know, but don't forget you got paperwork here. Okay, this is your installer's guide, the inspection. If you swear to God, if anybody ain't listening, do not lose these. These are just as important as heat strip instructions and schematic. If we do not put these back in here, that's what I'm doing now. It will not pass inspection because it's got to be given to the homeowner, and the homeowner's got to have it for the closure, the final closure on the trim out and all that shit. I don't know. At least it is for here. So for the time being, and the sake of the matter, I always fold it up like a hamburger kind of style. Just tuck it in the corner. I'm putting it back where the manufacturer had it. I'm just literally just putting it all into one spot. You know, like I said, on startup and finalize, all this stuff will be taken out, like paperwork. But from my aspect, for the guys, don't lose it out in the fucking field, because it's hard. You know, they can't even keep up with their own time cards here. So, you know, more or less trying to keep up with 2 pieces of paper having for fucking bid. You know, so I'm gonna try to put this back on. While I got the phone kind of looking straight down. Okay. I would do a better tutorial, but I forgot to grab my camera. My actual camera, I'm sorry. But I will do like that, so y'all can see my cankles. You like my cankles? They're pretty. There you go. See how I got it? We'll go here. Okay. We'll go there. And then we're done, technically. Alright. I'm gonna explain what these are. This is a knockout, this is a knockout, knockout, and this is a knockout. Some heat strips require one 60 amp breaker. Some require 2. If they're dual breaker, that's probably a fucking 15 kW heater. Okay, these 2 would knock out. All you do is get some, you can get a flathead screwdriver and a fucking hammer and knock it out the corner, or a pair of those red handle snips I got, and just fucking bam, bam, it'll knock out. Cut the insulation around it, stick the bracket in front of the heat strip. It kind of just sits in the front, and then the switch flank, blah blah blah. The switch will mount right here, and you just off and on. These, I also have to do these when I'm putting all these heat strips in. See these knockouts right here? I don't have to do these 2. This is only if it's in an upflow position. But if it's left-hand or right-hand discharge, I gotta knock out these knockouts, because if these are not implemented, because they are installed, never mind. It's just some guys are not capable of doing this on their own. You know, it ain't got to be perfect. But all you gotta do is notch it out. Yeah, my bad. And just get you like a wedge, and just kind of make sure you get that hole all the way out, and then you just get your 3/8. And you just stick it in there and pop it in there. That way they can run the thermostat wire and the float switch that goes on on your drain pan through here, and it will catch it because of the grommet. That way it doesn't come out or fall out or lose. So if that's not got, if it don't have a grommet there, it won't pass inspection. That's pretty much it. This, like I said, this all goes for any American standard. That is a TEM, a TEM 4A OB, all the way up to like a TAM 6, and I think anything over a 6, it's a TAM, which are those plastic refrigerator looking air handlers. You know, which I got some right over there, and that's my coffee. You know, so like I said, that's pretty much it. I hope this was all right. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of editing on this so it won't look so crappy, but you know, I can only do what I can on my phone. So y'all have a good weekend, guys. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Thanks for your continued support. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.